I'm going to take you behind the curtain and show you this never-before-seen tour of the most customizable holster factory in America.
I don't know of a single custom shop in America that can manufacture and ship a custom-made holster in 3 business days or less.
If you order on Monday, it's on your door by Friday.
It comes out about 400 degrees, and this is vacuum, so we're pulling air straight down. Now you're starting to see the concept of the gun there.
The process from pressing to cutting, what used to take me 45 minutes, we can do in about 7.
They can pull the appropriate piece of plastic.
It's a recipe.
It's exactly.
Welcome to Eclipse Holsters.
Hey guys,
how's
how
it going?
you doing?
Good, man.
My name's Joseph.
Will, nice to meet you.
Come on in.
Hi, Jessica.
Hey Jessica, how are
Welcome.
you?
Yeah, good to
Awesome.
meet you.
Yeah,
we're glad
thank you
came
guys
by.
for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so tell everybody kind of what you guys do, who you are.
Absolutely. Joseph, my wife Jessica, and this is Eclipse Holsters. This we feel like is like our state-of-the-art building, and this is not by chance. This is actually 12, 13 years of making a lot of mistakes. Started from very humble beginnings. Yeah. Now we're in 10,000 square feet. We just feel super blessed.
Come into the
awesome.
shop. We'll give you a tour inside here.
Material-wise is this strange stuff that we call Kydex, and it comes in any color that you could possibly come up with. You can get it in different patterns and things like that. You basically are able to heat this up to about 400 degrees, and when you do heat it up to 400 degrees, it sort of changes, sort of comes out like sloppy cheese or like a very formable way.
I know, he calls it sloppy cheese every time.
But it will hold that only for about 10 seconds before it starts to harden back up again.
Yeah.
So as long as you're forming it around the object that you want, then you take another, say, minute, maybe 2 minutes, and it returns back to that hard shape, whatever it is. One thing that we've just sort of specialized is the whole concealed carry market, and that's really what we've narrowed down.
We supply thousands of other holster makers with all the parts and pieces that they need to make holsters or knife sheaths. So for Eclipse, I'm spoiled because my inventory is just sitting right here. So I just walk across, pick it up, and then we manufacture over there. It's the prints that we have the most fun with.
Yeah,
Come on over here, we'll show you the production.
So one way that I think that separates us from a lot of other holster makers is I don't know of a single custom shop in America that can manufacture and ship a custom-made holster in 3 business days or less. There isn't anybody else out there.
I've never seen anyone
Still
else.
to this day, if you want something custom, it's 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or whatever it is.
8 weeks sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. We said we are living in an Amazon world, and if we don't get to those Amazon standards of being able to ship quickly, we're going to sort of lose. And so with that as being sort of like a mindset of like, okay, how do we speed up the process? We knew that the only way to be able to do that is that we had to fix some roadblocks that were happening. One of them was the skill that Jessica had in manufacturing holsters.
Sure.
How do you translate that to other employees instead of taking the actual gun, taping it up, putting all your little popsicle sticks on it, and sort of creating these forms? We started scanning our guns in 3D, and then he's actually creating us molds out of aluminum. This is like an actual gun. If you were to take it and split it in half and put it down there, you can sort of see the trigger area and things like that.
Glock.
You know?
Yeah.
So like that would be a Glock. The employee doesn't need to know. He doesn't even need to know what the gun that he's pulling for. As long as the employee can read the number, all of our molds. It says that he's supposed to pick out mold number 101 on the invoice. I can bring a high schooler in here, and they can literally, as long as they can read those numbers and follow the chart, they can pull the appropriate piece of plastic.
It's a recipe.
It's exactly. And they can grab the mold and things like that. We heat it up in these t-shirt presses for about 2 minutes, and it comes out about 400 degrees. It comes out and then comes onto here. And this is vacuum, so we're pulling air straight down. So as you put now sort of like that soft Kydex on the top of it, and it gets sucked down, it's forming to that. So now we're actually asking for it to cool off. And it takes about a minute to do that. And as it does that, then all of a sudden it returns back to that hard shape.
Wow.
But now you're starting to see the concept of the gun there, if that makes sense.
It starts to look like a holster.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
But with that being said, we're still flat, right? And so we're like, man, I see it, but I don't necessarily see the design yet. And that's where those little indentation pins correlate. So there you're able to see 1, 2, and 3 right there. From a manual side of things, that's really the only human error that we could place on this holster, because the computers and the machines are going to take care of everything else from there. So let's go into the CNC room and we'll check that out.
Cool.
you can see she's mounting something onto the table right now.
Yeah.
And she's going to enter into this computer system. So each one of our screens has coding for every holster that we can manufacture in the shop. Inside the waistband, outside the waistband, mag pouches. Depending on what it is that she's picking up, she'll mount it to the plate, find the code in the machine, and tell it to cut. Most of our programs cut in 90 seconds or less.
Wow.
So it does one rough pass, and then it'll do a cleanup pass.
Yeah.
And it puts all the holes exactly where they're needed for all the attachments that we offer. So everything is exactly the same every single time.
Okay.
Yeah, and speeds up the process from pressing to cutting. What used to take me 45 minutes, we can do in about 7 total, complete. Yeah. It cleans it up so well that we don't have too much of a polishing process at the end. We still just buff it just real quickly to get the rough edges off. This is one that has been trimmed now. So you saw the longer square, and now it's just roughed out the edge.
Okay.
This is going to be a light bearing one, so it's got a little bit of a buildup here. But yeah,
awesome.
it does it so fast and exactly the same every single time.
Right, and the edges like are already pretty
They're
smooth.
pretty good. Yeah, we still have some polishing stations over there, and it's just a sisal wheel, and we'll just go real quick, a couple seconds on each one, just to make it soft to the touch against your body. But yeah, it is so consistent, and that consistency is what is allowing us to put out a product we trust all the time. And you can see our prints. This is where the fun part comes out. I can show you our print wall too. This is the part that is so exciting for customers. We've had some wild requests. For the most part, I mean, the sky's the limit, and we can print it on different colors. So this is where we keep all of our specialty prints. This is where our customers really get to sort of customize something that is special to them.
Because I mean, are there any other holster shops in America that are this custom as far as the colors?
I'm going to be bold and say there are some that will customize. There are none that will ship it in 3 days or less.
Fair enough.
So while they may stock the same things, and you might find some of the same prints at other holster companies, you're going to be waiting 8 weeks for what we can turn around in 3 days or less.
That's amazing.
If you order on Monday, it's on your door by Friday.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen anywhere else.
That's awesome.
And that one is one of our populars. We call it What the Cluck.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Our customers constantly surprise us. One that has remained our top seller for probably 3 years in a row. I never would have picked it.
Yeah.
Cowhide. We put it out to vote. So I use social media a lot, and we put out, okay, we're thinking of these 10 prints, help us, you know, what are we missing? What are you guys wanting?
This one is kind of trippy because it doesn't look like Kydex.
Right, yeah. No, this one is one of our newer ones. This is called Fairy Tale, and it's printed on one of our shimmer Kydex. So we've got a couple that kind of have a little shimmer to them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Girly side, love it. This is also something I can confidently say I brought to the market. There was I was the first female holster maker to do what I was doing. And I was the only one who said, I think we should put flowers on Kydex. A lot of people were doing logos and like badges.
Or they were doing camouflage.
And I said, well, how come we can't make it be floral?
For normal people.
Actually, I said, why can't we make space ones? So I have a few NASA prints that I have for myself, and we'll show you at our assembly table the other detail I added that I love.
Yeah.
Once you come out of the cutting room, everything's polished. We will end up with a huge bucket of holsters that are polished, but they still are flat. So here's another example of, this is actually going to be one of our new holsters that we designed. It's called the Molly B. It goes into our concealed carry belt bag that Marsupial Gear sells. This is an isolated heat strip. So again, Kydex, you manipulate it with heat. So we introduce it back onto the heat strip, but we're only gonna heat the sight channel.
Okay.
And here now you can see we actually have the real guns out.
Right.
There's no ammo allowed in the shop actually, just because we're using them constantly as tools.
Yeah.
And it's just peace of mind for everybody. This one is a Glock 43, so I'm just choosing the Glock 43 here, and I'll show you what we end up doing, heating that sight channel. And I'm just getting it to where it's soft again. And this is where it's gonna actually form into what you're gonna recognize as, oh, that makes sense, that's gonna be a holster. So now we just need to cool it. And we cool it again, back in the shape we want, and that's gonna end up being our Molly B holster. So the fans help cool it faster, but somebody in our process, they'll do 100 or 200 holsters. They come out here and just bend, and then our assembly team goes to work. Let me show you the accessories we can put on. Customers get to customize everything from the color, inside or outside the waistband, right or left-handed. I think we're very, very unique in the sense that we offer almost 100 different makes and models in left hand.
Yeah.
Most people ignore the lefties.
Matthew's left-handed. So.
Well, see, a little bit of love. Yeah, my sister's left-handed, so we call them wrong-handed people. Yep. So the holsters come out here, and this is the assembly process. Let's see here. Here's one. This is our rustic print.
Oh, cool.
And we would pick from the monoblock, our quick clip. The ulti clip is one of the most popular. Yeah. And then this is the other thing that I introduced was let's get some really pretty washers.
Yeah.
So you can pick pink or purple or, you know, green. And then we start assembling it the way that the customer chose. So they get to customize all the way down to the belt attachment, what color washer they want. And that's what our assembly team is doing here. They pay attention to all the details that are written on it. Yeah. And again, it still ships in 3 days.
In 3 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So.
Yeah, but it really becomes a personalized product. So
yeah.
Even though maybe that print you're seeing somewhere else, or maybe it's an OD green color.
Right.
But all of a sudden, because you put that special accent color on there, all of a sudden it's personable to you. And it's not like the sort of sea of black that I always describe as far as in most holsters out there.
Yeah.
So
and you get the exact clip that you want.
Oh, yeah.
You get it all. Yeah. We also offer on our site all the add-ons that you might want. So if you decide you want to change the clip, you can easily change the clip. The holster can support everything that we offer. Yeah. So you can swap in and out. You can take the wing off. You can put the wing on. Yeah. We have matching mag pouches for everything, so we're always encouraging people to carry more. More is more.
I always like to say nobody ever gets in a gunfight and says, "Man, I wish I hadn't had so much ammo."
As long as the employee can follow the numbers, everything is identified on the floor of what belt loop they're supposed to grab. We have QR codes that they can watch a little how-to video that's about under 30 seconds.
That's awesome.
As far as being able to teach it, so we could take a brand new employee and they could be out here working and fully assembling holsters in about less than a day. Probably by the end of the day, they're in one of our stations working independently. We might even have the very first franchisable holster making business because we created such good systems and processes, whatever.
Because it sounds like you can pretty much train anybody to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
From there, to me, this is another fun, at least for me, this is what I love, is it comes over here and we sort of have like 2 shipping lanes with computers on either side. We have FedEx, UPS, and Postal. They come twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and then they just take out volume. We still know that we want the speed to get there, and so we've never changed our prices, and she still ships at an added cost, FedEx 2-day air, when she could go first class mail just to be cheap. But we're trying to be in that Amazon world, and so all of our packages go out FedEx 2-day, and they go right on out there. Trucks come in the morning and in the afternoon, whatever, and they get shipped out. You can order a holster on Monday, and no matter where you are in the country, it's probably going to land on your doorstep no later than Friday. And that includes the transit time to go there. So
that's awesome. So you've not only like streamlined the holster making part, but actually the getting it out the door and shipping it part, getting it to the customer.
I remember the first holster I ordered that I ended up canceling. So I ordered it. It took 4 months. But he had one of the questions on the site was, what height do you want your sweat guard? Yeah. And I literally froze for 3 days. I had no idea what a sweat guard was, and I did not know what the right height. And then I thought, well, what if I ordered the wrong height? Yeah. And it's 4 months. I mean, what, like really, buyer's remorse. Yeah. So I stressed about it, and forever we've determined to never have it be a site where people freeze up and are so worried that they ordered the wrong thing that they just won't order.
When you build your holster on this website, you can flip this thing 360 degrees, you could change out colors, and you see it in real time. If I put this clip there and I added green washers, what would it look like? And then I want to take the green off and put the red on. And you literally in real time have the ability to be able to look at your holster and know before even, you press, checkout of what it's going to look like, and we're going to do the rest for you, whatever it is.
Guys, if you need a good holster, check these guys out at eclipseholsters.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and until next time, be alert, stand firm in your faith, be strong, be courageous, and let all that you do be done in love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.